Good evening. This is a workshop meeting agenda of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale, Tuesday, October 4th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Call the meeting to order by the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Amato?
Here.
Councilman Catalano will be late. Councilman Graziano?
Here.
Councilwoman Hudson?
Here.
Councilman Julin?
Here.
Councilwoman Schubert? Here. Councilman Yazdi is excused.
Okay, we also have an municipal clerk, Brianna Smith, business administrator, Michael Sondermeyer, and borough attorney, Dawn Sullivan. This meeting is called to pursuant of the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. Adequate notice of this meeting was advertised in the Herald News on January 12, 2022. Copies were provided to the local news media and posted continuously in the municipal building. A copy of this notice is available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Per state fire code, I am required to acknowledge that there are two emergency exits in this council chambers. The main entrance which you enter through, and a secondary exit to the left of where I am seated. If there is an emergency, walk orderly to the exits, exit through the door, down the stairs, and out the building. If there are any questions, please raise your hand now. Seeing no one. We do have two non-agenda items. One authorizing our field hockey team to do a fundraiser on October 15th, and another one supporting our police department going for public, what is this?
It's an automatic license plate reader grant from the Department of Law and Public Safety.
Okay,
Attorney General's office.
okay. All right. Can I have a motion to open up early public comment, please?
So moved.
Second.
Mix here. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anyone wishing to speak, please come up.
Lady Huntley, 86 Van Dam. For a resolution that relates to the salt spreaders, what is the other equipment that you're getting?
Mike, can you answer that?
Not aware of any other equipment.
Just the two salt spreaders I'm aware of in this resolution.
It says to purchase 2 salt spreaders and equipment for the DPW fleet.
It's all part of it goes with it. It's all part of the salt spreader.
So it's equipment for the salt
It's
spreader.
all, yep, 3 different things that make up the spreader itself.
For the authorization for the agreement between the fire department and the lease, how much is that going to be? And what are the terms?
Right now, we're going to table that for tonight because we do not have a full agreement. All right, there's some questions on it, so that will be at the October 18th meeting to approve or disapprove. So we'll get into that because it's not settled yet.
Okay. And the last one I have is for the rehabilitation of the tennis courts. What exactly is being done for the tennis courts?
Completely being replaced.
Okay, so it's going to be new.
Yeah, it's going to be tennis/pickleball, new surface, new tennis court surface, new fencing. I believe there's fencing in the cul-de-sac, so that would all be new, and we're awarding that tonight. Okay.
Thank you.
That's something that's been going on for, what, 3 years now? So finally getting it done.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I missed the second part. What was being tabled?
The agreement between the fire department and us to move the rec center
Oh,
over there.
okay,
Just
okay.
the contract, there's some questions on it, so we want to,
From their end.
on their end, get it
Okay.
resolved.
Thank you, I missed that, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing no one, motion to close early public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, report of committees?
You can start us out. So on the EDC front, most of you are aware, we had 2 new businesses that we welcomed to town with ribbon cutting ceremonies. It's K Chicken and Roll. They're on the corner of Main and Reeve Ave. We also had RZ Health and Wellness, which is right down the street here. I'll say on Elizabeth and Hamburg, probably the easiest way to describe it. Both good ceremonies, both good people that are looking to get involved in the town, some who already have in many ways. So it was good. It was good to see a good turnout and support from this council. We have another ceremony coming up for the Bodega Munchies. That's on Kings Corner / LaSalle Corner / Main and Main for anyone who doesn't know where that is. It's going to be Monday, October 10th at 5 p.m. And then lastly, just a thank you for Town Pride Day. Thought it went off without a hitch. It was a nice, successful day. I know, I think everybody was there that's here today, except maybe you, Bill, but that's okay. We had thank yous for the EDC itself, the DPW, very stepped up and did a great job. Our Borough Administrator, Mr. Sondermeyer, was a great help in getting that all planned out and together. The mayor, the council up here, the police and the fire department, and of course the vendors who helped to put all this together. So again, thank you to everybody. Job well done.
Just two quick ones for me. Tomorrow is the monthly meeting of the Environmental Commission, 7:30 at the Senior Center. And then the Triborough Little League Sandlot Program is doing really well. Sunday mornings, 9 to 11, for all new minor and major baseball players. And we'll continue that until the weather says no. That's all I have, Mayor.
I have, let's see, October 15th, paper shredding at the Senior Center is 9 a.m. And Friday, October 28th, the Halloween dance at SRD at 7 p.m. So that's what we've got on the agenda for public events.
Okay.
And I also did want to say, well done to everyone for Pride Day. It really was a wonderful event. I think it was attended wonderfully, and John, awesome job on the 5K. That was a great event. It was a lot of smiles and a lot of fun.
Just for me to just touch base on the 5K, now we appreciate, and I know the Koska family really appreciates, this is our 9th year, and we will continue running that. Drew, we did get another donation you called me about, that came in yesterday.
Okay.
All right, which we thank you for that and appreciate that.
I'll let them know.
And we were able to, we took in approximately $14,000, and we'll be making a nice donation to Lust Garden. Once we figure that out, I'll let you know how much we sent to there. It'll probably be somewhere around $7,000 to $8,000, because we keep some of the kitty to kick off next year. And I gotta be honest with you. Every year I go through this. I sit there and I watch the registration form. I sit there. It's like hour after hour when it starts getting close. And then 2 weeks before the event, we had 33 people signed up. We wind up with 132. The last week and a half, it just was like flooded with people, and people making automatic donations. I just can't thank everybody enough that attended. Our sponsors were great. But again, kudos to the police department, helps us out, DPW, of course the fire department, our ladies auxiliary, and of course our residents that make it happen, because they're the ones that actually participate in the race. And it's a fun day to kick off Friday. So I know that I appreciate it. I know the Koska family absolutely appreciates it, and it's nice.
I feel like I have the best job ever, taking everybody's pictures. It's
Yeah.
like such a fun
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And everybody's smiling and having such a great time, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, one of our biggest sponsors was the Sheriff's Department, who donated over $1,000 to it through the one of the academy classes, which is their GAP class number 22, which my son has actually just graduated from. But their class donated all the money together to put them into, they have to do something for community, and that's what they did, so I'm really proud of that, too. It was very nice. Anyone else? Evie?
Yeah. This Saturday at the Senior Center, they had their garage sale. It was a brainstorm of Kathy and Rich Kirpitz, and they did an awesome job. I think they almost made like very close to $1,400, and it was busy all day long, even though the weather was not so great. But it was great for the Senior Center, and they have this Saturday. They have the Coronet Band is there performing at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and Pat runs a really nice outfit there. She has a lot of helpers, and it was a lot of fun helping them out. And they had a lot of stuff outside, like the curb alert. So I'm sure it's all gone, because people were calling, if we were going to close, and so it was really good. And then for the library, they're having again their pocketbook bingo that's coming up. And also, they're doing a big raffle, so even if you don't go to the pocketbook bingo, they're raffling off a Louis Vuitton bag for $20, and they were selling the tickets at the Sloan Park, at all the events. And they were also at Pride Day, selling the tickets.
Nice.
Can I tack on to that, Evie, as well? Only because I helped make the flyer for it, but the cornet bands, the event is actually, they're doing it kind of as in memoriam to Sunny's Garden. So they're having it outside, and then if there's poor weather, then they're going to move it inside. So they want people to be there enjoying the gardens, and they said bring a chair with you if you're going to come, a lawn chair.
And they did one of the Marabella, one of the meetings, and I had she was wondering, as far as like in our website, the scroll, and I think I was asking Brianna about, because we're good about putting the things on the page, and I noticed that the coronet band is in the front page, not, because normally when you go to the senior, when you want to look up anything for senior, you have to scroll down in the left side tab, and then you see the senior flyers. But so she wants to know if we could combine the events with this events page, or is this only meetings and stuff? On the right-hand side of our website, there's the Bloomingdale
Google
events.
calendar?
Yeah, that little scroll.
The Bloomingdale events calendar
Yeah.
or the announcements?
The
I'm
Bloomingdale
looking at it,
events
that's why I'm asking.
calendar. Yeah.
So the Bloomingdale events calendar that listed by like October 5th is the environmental commission meetings in Columbus
Is
Day
that
and all
only,
that stuff.
or like
I could put
the
them in
mayor?
if they prefer that. It's just a lot. It has to be one or the other. I can't do both.
Okay.
Because it's all like website coding. But I could do the Bloomingdale, that's like a Gmail calendar on the homepage.
I'm thinking maybe I'll ask. She just wants to see it. Like, I didn't see it on the Bloomingdale calendar, but I mean, like, the Bloomingdale calendar is the one that says events, but really shouldn't put the senior center events along that calendar. I don't know, but
We can talk. That one
Okay.
typically has meetings, but I can add whatever anybody wants to.
and then the one on top says announcements. Maybe
Well, I
that's
think a lot of that will change, Mike, when we get a new website, which is on our list of things to do, because our website is,
Yeah,
as
it's
Rich
all
has said many
state.
times, it's quite a mess, and we're working on, I don't know quite when, Mike, but
We're looking, wait
I
until
actually
November, okay.
I asked for an updated quote because the website is so terrible. It's very dated. It's a 10-year-old, the borough really needs to update the website.
yeah, but we have actually sat down and a bunch of us, we did kind of a little committee together on what we think we would like our website to look like. And I think
That was about a year ago.
that was about a year ago, but I think we would still go with the same concept
without a
because it was
doubt.
so simple and easy to manage, and so it's on our list.
And we just have the budget for it, that's the,
Yeah, that was the.
That's what we gotta wait till November to see,
How the
November
budget
4th
falls.
meeting when we get the transfer money, see what kind of money we have left.
Yep.
And see if we can put it in this year.
but I
Yeah.
think if there are other organizations are doing, like with the pocketbook thing and all, we could update the Bloomingdale Public's events calendar that you make with all our regular events and pop them in there.
Bree, if you like, would you like me to work on that?
Just if
Combine
everyone
it.
agrees to a place. Right now, there's like a few different places. So if everyone wants that in a
I think it should
general
just be
place,
on this
that's
thing.
fine with me.
I agree.
okay. Maybe that's what she means. That too. That would be a good thing to.
I
put
can
on.
I can work on that, Bree, and then
We can add that.
Now,
Add it into-
another question, because I pass it every day, the dog park had a big sign on it for something that was going on, but I understand it's Passaic County.
Paws
Paws in the Park
Paws
is in Gulfport Brook Park in Hawthorne.
It's in Hawthorne,
Yeah,
okay.
that's where they're doing it, but they're advertising in every town for Passaic County.
I think we just put it on our page as well,
Yeah.
our Facebook page.
Okay.
It's a fun event. for
It's at
animals.
Golfer Brook Park, which is on Rhea and Golfer Road, I believe. It's in that park. It's huge. Okay. Anybody else? You want to update on all projects?
Good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start with Andrews. Andrews, they did some base coat yesterday on the first 300 foot of Andrews Place from Glen Road down. The main storm drains are done now, the big ones that they're having issues with, and now from here on out, it's just small ones to the end, to the T. And then they'll do their curbs and sidewalks and then base coat the rest of the road. And they're anticipating now sometime, probably mid-November, they'll be done with Andrews. Woodlot is supposed to finish up, that was the retention basin. That's supposed to finish up this Friday. He has everything cleared out, and they put riprap down, and they gotta put some in the channel that goes from the inlet to the outlet. And then bring a little fill in, and then put some ryegrass down, so we get something to grow in there to keep the silt down. We were going out, obviously, to bid for, we awarded, the tennis courts tonight to Fitzpatrick. They were the winning bid this morning. Hilltop is going out to bid. I saw that package. That'll come out. I think we're gonna award that it's coming back on the 27th, and we'll award on that November 4th meeting, that Friday morning. Friday morning?
Yes.
It is Friday.
November 4th.
Friday, yeah, November 4th, the Friday morning meeting. Friday Engineering, the next thing after Hilltop is they're working on the valve plans for Main Street and Reeves Ave. That was a CDBG grant we got 2 years ago. And then the next project he's working on is Orchard, which was another DOT grant we secured about 2 years ago as well. And then following that is the Pavilion, which is the CDBG grant from a year ago, and that's behind the senior center. To have those plans done and get that out to bid. Hopefully those are all done this year. And then the final thing he's working on is the salt shed that we approved last year in capital project for the, down at DPW. He's looking to get those plans done and hopefully out to bid before the end of the year, and that'll be a springtime build. So we're ready to rock and roll next winter with the new salt shed.
Okay, very good. Okay, any questions, anybody? No? Okay. Item number 8, resolution number 2022-10.1, consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call,
I'm
please.
sorry, are we going all the way through 10.9?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Roll call.
Catalano?
Do I need to state the time that I entered?
I got it for the record,
Okay, no
7:03.
problem. Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Julian?
Yes, for the exception of 10.2, I will recuse myself.
Schubert?
Yes.
And yes, he's on.
Andy Sampson. Okay. Okay, item number 9, second final reading and public hearing, ordinance number 24-2022, amending Chapter 11-9, vacant and abandoned properties. Public notice statement, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this ordinance was posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News, and copies were made available to the public so that a motion may be made that it be read by title.
Can I have a motion to read by title?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
An ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 11, Building and Housing, Section 11-9, vacant and abandoned properties of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
Okay, can I have a motion to open up public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, a motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Graziano?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Julian?
Yes.
Schubert?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Okay, item B, resolution number 2022-10 10.10, accept amend shared service agreement between the Board of Ed and the Class 3 officer. Have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments?
Just one last question on this one. When it comes to the overtime, because I saw that there was something in there where it could be requested, who covers the expense for that? Is that us or them?
I believe that is split between both. If they're requesting, actually, that's a misstatement. If they're requesting the overtime for something they need, they would pay for it. If we are requesting it because the chief needs something
outside of the
done,
schools.
then it's on us.
Makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and one other thing, I don't know if I'm trying to pull it up here, but I'm getting this wrong thing. In the event that the officer, it calls out sick or is gone for an extended period of time, I know there's a security element planning to this. Maybe we can't discuss it in this forum, but is there a plan to back up the officer in the event that he's
Out?
gone for an extended period of time?
Okay. The way I kind of understand it, the system that we're using now, the way our police officers go through the schools, that is not stopping. All right, so they will still visit like they do every day, daily, so we'll have that backup.
Okay.
And I would just leave it because the chief is in charge of this, so when there's a fill-in, I'm sure he will make plans to bring somebody in.
And again, that could be a conversation that we
Yeah.
have in a different setting. Okay, thank you.
And there is no, the person doesn't get any sick days or benefits like that because he's part-time. So any absences, unless it's abused, obviously that'd be grounds for removal. But he'd have obviously things go on in life, people get sick, whatever the case may be. He'll have some type of comp time on the positive and on the negative side of that, meaning that if we need him to work a basketball program at the end of the night, which is after school hours, then obviously that'd be comp time to his pro side, and then he'd be able to take that, utilize it for his sick days type thing, and vice versa.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Okay. Item C, resolution number 2022-10.11, accept the amended shared service agreement between the Board of Ed and snow plowing. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Julian,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Okay. Right. Item D has been tabled.
ask
So,
for a motion.
yeah, can I have a motion to table item D?
So moved.
Second.
I doing all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. New business. Adoption of resolution number 2022-10.12, authorizing the hire of a part-time dispatcher for the police department. This is just simple. We have a dispatcher that's leaving. We're just backfilling that position, and there's no extra cost. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Schubert,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Adoption of resolution number 2022-10.13, authorizing the hire of the SLEO Class 3 officer, Jay Tricoli. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Motion for adoption. Roll call, please.
Catalano,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
Item B, Department of Public Works item, discussion, hire a part-time seasonal help with potential full-time employment in 2023. Mike, you want to just touch base here?
Yeah, this kind of all goes together, the next two resolutions we're looking to adopt here as well. This year, the mayor and council graciously allowed us to try and hire 3 seasonal help. We had people hired, and the very first day, 2 people didn't show up. So we've only had 1 seasonal person. for the year. We could never backfill, we could never get anybody else to come out. I don't know if it was the hourly rate or if people just didn't want part-time work without having some type of full-time position available down the road. So we were going to, on the second resolution here, the third one, Halkias, our Halkias. He was our seasonal help that has been a fantastic worker for us, and we sent him home about a week and a half ago, hoping to come here and move him to our seasonal help for the remainder of the year, because until we have money in the budget, we anticipated having 3 guys, we only had 1, and we muscled through this last summer season with grounds, landscaping, and field cutting with just the 2 guys, because our seasonal guy actually ended up going to the water department to help them out. So in the meantime, we had another associate gave his letter of resignation, so we're looking to move the Halkia seasonal help to full-time to backfill Rodriguez, who's leaving as of this Friday. And I was talking to the superintendent and the assistant superintendent and the laborer, the foreman, about the seasonal help. They would still like to be able to hire a seasonal help. We have the money in our budget, and to try and bring them in here for 3 months, see how they work out, giving them the option of possibly having a full-time potential hire next year in January, and obviously that would eliminate our seasonal help that we need going in the future. But that would be up for discussion come December timeframe, but we are looking to at least get the authorization or a nod from the council that we can actually advertise for seasonal help to see if we even get it at this point. 1 person for the balance of the year. So that's the discussion.
So when you say seasonal, you mean next summer?
Nope. Seasonal meaning they're not a full-time person, they're not part-time, they're just for the next 12 weeks here in this year.
I see, okay.
Comments, suggestions? Good?
The time frame for the original seasonal help, that was...
They were 30 weeks. It was 16 weeks each, and 3 times 3.
Okay.
10, I'm sorry, you're right. So I'm sorry, it was 10 weeks each. It was 30 total with 3 people.
And we had 1.
We only had 1
And we
that
just
showed
lost
up.
the laborers, we want to promote Halkias to full-time, so it's a net 0.
Net 0, 0, exactly.
And then
right.
bring in count of 1 head count for 10 weeks, or is it 12 weeks?
Whatever is at the end of the year. 12.
And
12 weeks.
just so I understand, when I hear seasonal, I think cutting grass and mulch and weeding and all that. What would they do in October, November, December?
They'd be part of, actually, they'd probably end up in the water department, helping out them, getting meters in, doing valve operations. We're behind. We were down to 2 men in the water department. We had them come in overtime at night again, doing flushing, talking with the assistant supervisor and the foreman of the water department. They think if we're able to bring in future talk, this seasonal guy we bring in to the next 12 weeks, if he goes to full-time next year, that they would be able to do, we're trying to factor out the money, how we're gonna figure it all out, but part of it would be no overtime, no flushing at night, be able to do it during the day, if they're saying, to make offset the cost of that new person. But that's for future discussion. They're just looking for a body now, to get in here, because people do take vacations still. They do go out, people calling sick. We have quite a few things going on still, and
And it's gonna be Christmas season, we gotta start putting everything up, take all the banners down from what's out there now.
Yep.
Right, they all come down.
Is this part of the shared service as far as, do you share people too, or just the equipment? Like through the towns, like if you needed help, do you do
we
that?
have never,
You don't share people.
You don't share people, just the equipment?
not DPW laborers.
Like
We'll
Crossville,
do-
we wouldn't call
right.
Butler for a DPW, gotta
No,
cover.
like, we share our CFO with another town.
Yeah.
And we do some finance shared services with other towns, but we have never done anything with DPW workers. We need every guy we got to maintain what's going on each day.
And then remember, we're sending our guys to do the shared service like Wanacue and Riverdale, the street sweep and all
We're
that
still
stuff.
doing that.
We're still doing all that, getting that all done, so.
With rave reviews.
Does this impact our shared service agreement with the vegetative waste with Wanacue at all, or no?
No, we're
'Cause Halkias
still
would go-
maintaining that.
And we're good there, we're able to maintain?
Yep.
I mean, I haven't noticed a
Yep.
blip on the radar here, things not getting taken care of, so. And then Halkias would go over to the water department, correct?
How, because they're looking to put him onto the water department, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So really, the only thing that we are essentially discussing or voting on is the resolutions and the,
The two resolutions, and
this is just basically a discussion.
you're right, exactly right.
Okay.
I'm looking to see if you would, if the mayor and council would allow us to at least post a position to see if there's anybody even come in seasonal help for the next 12 weeks. We couldn't find anybody during the winter. During the summer, when people are off from school, college kids, high school kids.
This is-
So I think it's gonna be even harder to try and fill at this point.
For me, this is simple math. You had 20 weeks of budget still available that you didn't use.
Exactly.
You're asking for 12. It's still a net 8 positive for us, so I have no problem with it.
So, and they stay through like snow removal and they
Oh,
have to
yeah,
learn how
yep, they
to-
can drive, yep.
They need to know that they have to
Yep,
do
they gotta be
all
a certain
that.
age, 18 and over, and be able to drive our truck, yep.
And I think that's part of the problem too. You have an 18-year-old person that's either going to college or trying to find something full-time. I mean, they have to be 18 to run equipment, so it's just, in years past, you'd have a list you'd be able to go through. It's just not.
I mean, my opinion would, and on this particular topic would be if we had 20 weeks and you felt, I mean, you commented at the start of this that you didn't know whether pay was an impact. If we had
It's $15 an hour, that's
Yeah.
what we're paying.
If we had 20 weeks and you did an adjustment for the remaining 8, since that was a lot of budget already, and you thought it would increase the likelihood of you hiring someone that had full-time capability, I'd actually encourage you to use the available budget, not to exceed what you had
yep.
prior, but perhaps bring in a higher quality employee for that full-time position long-term.
Okay. So are we good with him going out and do the research and start trying to get applications, and then we'll see where that goes?
Like, would you ever consider lowering the age threshold?
I don't know if the
I don't know if
insurance will let us
it's,
or not.
insurance will allow us
Yeah, I
to.
don't think
go
insurance
or-
will allow us to go below 18.
Where I grew up, Totowa would always hire the high school kids. Obviously, you wouldn't want a backhoe or a jackhammer or anything like that, but they did manual labor. It was, so a junior going into their senior year has time. They're not getting ready for college. Maybe they're getting ready for their fall sports in August, so you might get a larger pool of people if we're able to offer it to a younger person, that's all.
Oh, you mean during the spring, the summer, next year type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we do
A
seasonal.
junior
Yeah,
going
yeah,
into their
yep.
senior year, looking for work for 10 weeks?
That's a great point.
I could talk to the insurance,
Most
see what that.
fall
Yep.
sports start in early August, so they'd qualify, they finish their 10 weeks, they would do some work.
You just have to see what they're able to run.
What they're able to do.
Because we put them on grass, if they're weed whacking, I see no problem with that, but insurance is, you know how
I
insurance
don't know,
companies
yeah,
are.
or if they can go on the
So
back of a
they-
truck, I don't know.
I think the back of the truck would be something that they could not.
That's probably stretching it, but go
Yeah.
pick up bags of leaves and,
Or they
Yeah.
could ride shotgun with somebody and
Which
pick up bags. of
jump
leaves
out,
and
yep,
do
you can
whatever.
do that, pick up, you're right, pick up the visit. I'll ask them.
okay.
You know, pick up, we do have areas of, have garbage in our, we can send them out and clean that up. Okay? Okay. Next, adoption of resolution number 2022-10.14, to accept the resignation of full-time labor, Ian Rodriguez. Ian is moving out of
Isaiah.
state. Isaiah, excuse me. Isaiah, I believe he is moving out of state.
He is.
Have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. I don't think we need to discuss this.
Graziano?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Julian?
Yes,
Schubert?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Okay. Adoption of resolution number 2022-10.15, promote seasonal help to full-time labor, or Halkias. Have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
We just discussed it. Any other comments? If not, roll call.
Hudson?
Yes.
Julian?
yes,
Schubert?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this adoption of resolution number 2022-10.16, authorized purchase of 2 salt spreaders through the co-op. Have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Comments?
This is in their budget, under new equipment. line.
Yeah.
They've had it budgeted.
the only question I would have is, are they available for delivery?
I believe they said they are.
So we're not gonna be waiting
Nope.
in March,
Nope.
April, we
Right
get 2
after-
shiny
right after
salt
we're done with
spreaders.
snow.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you.
Roll call?
I got a question.
Well, yeah, it's more of a comment than a question, but I know you discussed the salt shed. Will we have any issues with the existing salt shed and filling and ensuring that these are in full use, or do we have to get it elsewhere?
No, we're okay. We're okay. Roll call.
Julian,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Okay. Item C, adoption of resolution number 2022-10.17, authorizing and awarding a contract of the rehabilitation of Walter T. Bergen School tennis courts. And that is going to Mike Fitzpatrick and Son, right?
Yes.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
I just want to make comment on this. The bid came in under what we planned, so we are saving money, and we are noticing, according to the engineer, that cost, lumber and stuff is also starting to come down. So future projects, we should be doing a little bit better than what we were planning. So that's a plus.
Good. Just a quick question. I know drainage was talked about for this. Is that part of this as well?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Do you know what it looks like? Is it like drains on the surface, or is it around?
No, it's underneath. It's, what happens is they're gonna obviously take out what's there, go down X amount of feet. I would think they would put a layer of crushed stone, and then they'll put basically perforated pipe, tie it into the, there's a drain behind the tennis courts, there's an inlet back there, they'll tie everything into there, and it's gonna absorb groundwater and run there. Normally, it's pipe that has a fabric on it, so that the mud and stuff can't collapse it. And they'll do that along, I think, along the whole floor base, X amount of feet down. And then do whatever they gotta do and top it, and then all that stuff.
Okay. And we got 2 grants for this, right? We got 2 grants for this?
We moved one grant
Over
over
for it,
to help
right.
this out, yes.
So I mean, with it being lower, because it seems like significantly lower, really, than what we originally thought. It seems like those grants are going to be covering a good
A
chunk.
good chunk of it.
Good chunk of it.
Yeah, which is great.
Right.
The only problem we're having right now is talking to Tom, the engineer, is getting material for the fence.
Oh,
That is back ordered everywhere.
okay.
So, we talked, I'd like that project to start sooner than later, get it out, get all the drainage done, and then if we have to wait till spring and put the court in and be done with it. And then we have time to get everything, but in the meantime, we can get the project started. We've been waiting too long. So,
When do you anticipate starting? And the reason I ask is of soccer and field usage. And my hope would be everything is coming in from the cul-de-sac?
Come in from the cul-de-sac, because that fence has to come down.
Okay.
To get equipment in. And the removal of it is just demoing it and taking the chain link out, and then, during the day, that would be done, and then
Yeah.
it would be all roped off. I don't think it would interfere with soccer at all.
Okay.
I know the engineer, on your point of drainage, because we mentioned that today with him during the bid opening. He said after they dig it up, if he sees what's under there and he feels it doesn't need it, he has no problem taking out about $25,000 worth of drainage items. There's like 6 line items that add up to about $25,000. And if he and the contractor dig it up and they decide we probably don't need this, then at that point they let us know. He's not going to make us do something that we don't have to. But for right now, he's saying he thinks he needs it because he thinks it's very wet under there, so.
I gotcha. And then
It is.
$300,000 project, 25 grand.
It is not, I thought it'd be a lot more than that. When he showed me the lines, it was peace of mind. It might be, we'll see.
Right.
Now, what about the walking track? I mean, it's right next to the walking track with the demo. Is the demo going to affect that at all?
No.
No, it will still, well, we'd have to talk to actually Mike, and just, when they take it down, they'd have to rope it off so the walking track still can be used. And if there's any damage to it, he's responsible for fixing it.
Okay.
And he's the one that put it in, so.
But the timing there, so you said because the fence is, we're having trouble, right, with that. So we're saying that we would demo it, and then it could potentially just sit there in a construction state until the spring?
Over there. Meanwhile, once they put the pipe in, the stone in, this is just me thinking, all right? Everything starts to settle. And then, once you put the asphalt over it, all the settling would be done.
Yeah.
So, and it's an area in the winter it's not used because you don't play tennis in the winter.
Okay.
I'd rather get a head start in the spring, so you get more use out of it for the summer, than have to wait a month or so, because they have to time, not just putting the asphalt down, then the tennis top has to be put on. Those people have to come and line it all out and put the special coating that goes over it.
And the
then
weather has
line
to be
it-
right for that.
Line it for pickleball, or line it for tennis, and then all the bowers gotta be installed for the nets. I think they're removable, I think.
I think they are.
So in the winter, you could actually take them out, and it's less wear and tear on them.
Right,
Right now, it's in very bad shape.
okay. And then they can't just reuse the fence?
No.
Okay.
So I put an old coat on it. You know what I mean? You gotta do it right. If we're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
I'm just thinking, I didn't even know if that was an interim option, you know what I mean? Just so.
And the hardest thing too is when they pave, then all the fence is in the way, and all the poles are in the way.
Yeah, I didn't know if it could just come down and it's easy to put up, you know what I mean? I don't know.
It's
I've never
pretty
installed
much,
a
if you go
fence.
really look at it, go close at it, it's pretty much, it's 30 years old. I mean, it's 35 years old, probably more than that.
The fence is? Oh, I didn't realize.
I'm sure there's technical involved.
I mean, that's original from Green Acres, going back.
I believe.
You know, we did, I think they did resurface it once.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Did we do roll call on that?
You have a motion, Joyce. Roll call.
Roll call?
Schubert,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Okay. Adoption of resolution number 2022-10.18, authorizing the application for residential solar panels on 70 Red Creek Trail. Have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
Yeah, what's kind of the background for this one?
Alrighty, background on this one. We have an ordinance in town that states you can have solar panels, but it's not allowed on the front-facing roof towards the street, regardless of where it is in relation to the sun. And we know that solar panels obviously work best when they're south-facing, because they get most of the sun during the day. This application came into the construction department. The construction official denied the application, thinking this was a zoning issue, it was going to go to planning board, and that would be, they'd have to go and get a variance if they want them on the front of their roof. In the meantime, talking with our chair of the ordinance review committee and our chair of the planning board, we sat and talked, and they came back to me and stated that this is a chapter 10, which is a borough code, not chapter 92, which is a zoning, which you go to, anything in chapter 92 goes to the planning board. So they didn't feel they were the board to go to for a variance or for any type of appeal process.
Right.
We had the attorney on board with the engineer, and he agreed that the governing body is really on borough ordinances would be the appeal process on that. But instead of bringing it here and then fighting it out, what's allowed, what's not allowed, is it good, but we set up a subcommittee with the attorney, myself, and the engineer to review the plans, to look at them, to make sure that it made sense. And Tom did go through the plans and made mention that it is, the way they are facing is south, it's the best exposure for him. He's got woods behind him. So we made the determination, like, we're gonna recommend that this does get passed. Thus, the reason it's in front of the mayor and council for approval, that this person on Red Twig Trail can put these solar panels on the front of their roof. In the meantime, now we're trying to work with the attorney who's gonna come back and draft a new ordinance to try and move it from chapter 10 to zoning where it really belongs. But before they do that, the two members that I mentioned before also went online. This is all behind the scenes stuff that these guys do, volunteers. Went online and found that there's a bill on the assembly floor right now that's talking about solar panels and what the towns have jurisdiction over or not.
Yeah.
And everything is, well, I don't know why we even put it in ours, because everything is green, sustainable energy and stuff like that. Why are we telling people we can't put it on? So we're gonna wait till that comes out and see where that's going. And then at that point, Fred's group will draft something up, whether or not we need to at that point.
Right.
If we do, he'll put it in zoning and we'll draft it the way it's gotta be drafted.
Got it. Yeah, that last part I'm familiar with, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's even, I've seen houses that have them on the front
Yep.
in our town.
They are, and they went in prior to, we did this ordinance probably, I think it was my first year on council, this ordinance came up. And there hasn't been many since then, but now it seems like a couple have come up just recently, and that's what brought this up to the top, up to everybody's purview of what's happening, so.
Yeah. To me, it sounds like an acceptable thing to do.
If people want to go green, that's what the world's going towards, so we might as well, the future.
Yeah, why get in the way of that?
I think the what they're looking at with the ordinances, it'll be more of like the field, like in a different R10, R20 zones, when you have neighbors on top of neighbors, you don't want to see a solar field in their front yard or their backyard or something like that. So I think there'll still be a need for a code, an ordinance to restrict that. But maybe we allow it, because right now it says on any, doesn't matter what size your lot is, but maybe on R130 where they have 3 acres plus, and they want to put something in the backyard that nobody's going to see, why are we going to hold them up? So they might make some type of limitations on that as well, so.
Yeah.
More to work on in the ordinance review committee, once Fred drafts up what he's got to do.
And we see what the state legislator does.
And see what the state, exactly, that's going to drive everything.
Yeah, they might just determine it for us.
Right. All right, thank you.
I think just as a continuation of the conversation, it's important to note too that the technology changes for solar panels and the basis for these ordinances from a visual degradation standpoint have changed dramatically in the last 5 to 10 years too.
Right.
So I think they're probably not as great a concern with forward facing as there may have been 10 years ago to the appearance of your community.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Roll call.
Catalano,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
So we have 2 non-agenda items. This will be Resolution 2022-10.19,
19.
authorizing peddlers, hawkers license fee waiver for the Bloomingdale Field Hockey fundraiser event. This is October 15th at the Leisure Field. Our field hockey group is doing a fundraiser, I believe it's for cancer awareness.
So either ovarian or breast, one of those, I think.
I think it's, yeah, I'm not sure which one. Basically, they're having an ice cream truck come down there, and they're playing their games, and doing, and then they're just raising money through the ice cream truck. Okay, so, can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
You can do it all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Resolution 2022-10.20, resolution supporting the Bloomingdale Police Department grant application for the ALPR available, which is the automatic license plate reader, available through the New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety Office of the Attorney General. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
We can do all in favor here, too, right? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Can I have a motion to open late public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Anyone wishing to speak, come on up. You good? Okay. You're not allowed.
Rich Calrero, 159 Pine Tree Road. I just had a quick question, and Mike, maybe you do or don't know. This is about the solar panel thing. I just know that years ago, when I was on the Board of Ed, part of the reason we didn't go with solar is the fact that we get power from Butler, and as a municipal utility supplier, they aren't required to buy back any excess. Is that still in place?
That is still in place. They do
Okay.
not- We had that conversation with person on Rentwig as well.
Okay, and they're aware of that?
They're aware of it, yep.
Okay. Well, I was kind of hoping it changed. but-
Yeah, me too.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing no one, motion to close?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we do not have an executive session. Our next meeting is, when is our next meeting?
18.
October 18th, right here at 7 PM. Then we have a workshop meeting November 4th. November 4th, just quick question. That is the 15-minute in more when we do transfers and stuff?
Yep.
Do we need a quorum for 8 o'clock?
I'm sorry, what was the day?
November 4th.
It's a Friday.
Oh, it's
Friday
Friday.
morning.
Right now, yes, at the mercy of my schedule.
Okay.
8 o'clock here?
It's usually a very quick meeting.
Yeah, I'll put it down. If something changes, I'll let you know.
I'm a no.
You're not, yeah, no, you,
What
John?
time? What time?
November 4th.
Is that
Yeah,
Friday?
it looks like I'm okay.
Okay. I'll tell Ray he's okay.
Oh, what time?
8 o'clock.
Okay.
8 a.m.
So, but if there is a problem, please notify Bree or Mike, so we can deal with it.
Okay.
Okay? Good? Yep. And we'll remind each other on the October 8th meeting.
I think there's a two things. I think it's just a transfer of funds,
And then we've got
and
to
then we're going
authorize
to
the
hopefully Hilltop.
Hilltop Terrace.
Mr. Mayor, just so you know, it's advertised as a regular council meeting, so if things come up,
Exactly right.
it can very well be a full agenda as well. Things
Okay.
always come up, so,
Okay.
but that's the
Do
purpose
you
of it, the
need
transfers.
us here for that?
He usually gives you a pass.
We'll see what's on the agenda, but right now, probably not.
Okay.
All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.